Matthew, you've been really good on third down this year, almost close to 120 passer rating, 6 touchdowns, no picks. Just what is it about third down? Is it just the scheme, the guys around you, or what has helped with you guys being so good on third down, you especially?
I think it's all of it. I think it takes the guys up front doing their job, keeping me upright, running backs protecting, and then guys on the outside winning and catching the ball. So it's a total team effort on third down. I'm just kind of a byproduct of it.
It's kind of an unusual game, though, where you guys passed every third down. And
last game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, was that the plan going in, or was it
no,
with the down and distance?
Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot of third and shorts.
Yeah.
So we kind of had to throw the ball and made enough plays. I think we were 8 of 11 there early on in the game and really rolling good. So looking to try and do that week in and week out. That's a great number if we can keep it up.
Any thoughts about going against Gruden, the guy who used to talk pretty favorably about you as a broadcaster? Now he's coaching, and how they look with him.
Yeah, I think they're a really well-coached team, both offense and defense. They do a great job. I think he's a smart guy. He's been, around the game of football for a long time. So a lot of respect for him, a lot of respect for their team, and a bunch of good players.
Matthew, I got to ask you about the voice. Obviously, what's the concern, I guess, heading into a game since you got to make, the calls and checks? And all
I think it'll be fine by Sunday. Okay. Yeah.
What about starting to stack wins? We use that phrase all the time, starting to stack wins in mid-season right now, getting off the schneid 1 week and now maybe putting some together.
Yeah, it's important. You got to go out there and prove it every week, though. It's not something that just because you won last week means you're going to go out and play good the next week. You got to put the work in the week in practice, and then obviously go out and execute on Sundays.
What are you dealing with?
Just sick. Yeah, just sick.
When did that happen? Like you wake up?
I started feeling not so good before the game on Sunday, and it's just kind of been hanging on, but it should be good by next Sunday. Don't worry about it, guys.
Well, but in all seriousness, when you wake up with a voice like this, it's an everyday thing too. You kind of sit there, you maybe more than others, and walking like this could be a little bit more difficult to change things.
Not too bad. We just adapted out there at practice today, and I was full go. It was fine, so we made it work.
Extra tea and honey.
Yeah, that's right.
Not to jinx you, but you passed Matt Ryan on the consecutive starts and active quarterbacks. The arc of your career, early on you dealt with some injuries. What does it mean to you to stayed in there through thick and thin, a lot of injuries?
Yeah, it means a lot. Obviously, I just want to be out there for the guys. It doesn't mean anything other than I just want to be available for those guys. I was actually texting Matt last week trying to figure out if he was going to go or not. Buddies with him, I wanted him to keep his streak going because I know he's a tough guy that's played through a lot in his career and he just wasn't able to do it. So, it's like I say, sometimes you got to get a little bit lucky, something you can play through, and I was able to, have been able to be, a little bit lucky in that regard.
Matthew, you seem to have formed a pretty fast chemistry with Denny Amendola here. 2 straight good games for him. What goes into, I guess, the quarterback-wide receiver relationship and I guess things clicking quickly?
A lot of hard work, and I think a lot has to do with understanding of the game. I think he understands the game and sees the game really well for a receiver. And I obviously have a different view than those guys do running routes. And he's a lot of times doing exactly what I would want him to do and did a great job of catching the ball last week, made some big plays for us.
We chatted briefly after the game about Marvin Hall. I'm just curious the uniqueness of his numbers in that he's not targeted a lot, he's not catching a lot of balls, but when he does, they're big plays. How or why is he maybe being used that way?
Obviously he wasn't with us all through training camp, so he's a guy that's just kind of building his role. And when we put him out there, he's done a nice job. Sometimes the ball finds him, sometimes it doesn't. That's kind of the way it is in this offense. As you guys have seen, I've spread it around a bunch. He's just one of those guys that has made some big plays when his number's been called.
I guess the uniqueness was that when he does catch it, it's for like 40 yards.
Yeah, I can't explain it.
Yeah.
But I just happen to, I feel like, look his way when he's running along.
Yeah, Matthew, how is it that everybody seems to have his day, though, starting with Hawkinson in the opening days? Is it what you do one week influences what happens the next week, the way they play him? Really, it's sort of happened that way. It's kind of interesting. I've noticed it as well. It's not something that I think about except for after the fact. Sure.
But we've had a lot of good players step up and make a lot of good plays for us, and it seems like week in and week out somebody's doing it, and we're going to need more of it, throughout the rest of the year.
Did you at all follow the no-trade deadline yesterday with any interest in who you might pick up? Or?
Not really. I was just going to wait and see, just like all you guys, and status quo moving forward. Here we go.
I feel like you're playing particularly well over the last 3-4 games compared to even how you played in some other stretches of your career.
I don't know. I feel like I'm playing okay. There's always room for improvement. Always want a couple throws back, but just trying to keep us scoring points. That's the biggest deal. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.